Nikola Vucevic trade suitors are reportedly popping up as the Celtics and Warriors have some interest in the veteran big man. We're going to talk a little bit about that and what moves could make sense for the Chicago Bulls. And then Ayo Dosunmu for Cam Whitmore trades. We'll talk about it all and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily Chicago Bulls podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network. We're at your team every single day. That's Pat, the designer, host, and creator of the Windy City Breeze, and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host, creator of Chicago Bulls Central and Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcasts. On today's episode, we're going to be breaking down all the rumors going around the Chicago Bulls in free agency, as we are now in day 3 of free agency. And on the third day, Nikola Vucevic, trade suitors rise? I don't know. It was going to be a bit of a pause comment if I said what I was going to say.
Oh, boy.
The brain was like, Haize, up.
Good catch.
Chill out. But with that said, Nikola Vucevic, so we had a trade rumor that popped up yesterday. It's kind of a reinvigoration of one that we've heard previously, but now kind of have more details on it. So it's Nikola Vucevic would be going to the Boston Celtics for Anfernee Simons and a 2026 second-round pick. I still don't know how much I believe these, Pat, because it seems like I don't know where the Celtics are at, if they'd be giving up picks at this point in time, knowing what the season may look like this year. But, you know, we've talked about this a little bit previously before. I think it makes even less sense with the moves that the Bulls have made so far this offseason and with what happened. But could you see Anfernee Simons maybe rerouted to a third team, maybe where this makes some sense? Maybe it's insurance in case Coby White does walk in free agency. Maybe it's something like that. Since the first time we talked about this, which was like 3-4 days ago, has anything changed on your opinion on Anfernee Simons for Vooch trade?
No, I mean, listen, Anfernee Simons for Vooch, I guess, is a little bit different because the conversation we were having before was Anfernee Simons around, you know, some kind of Coby White move. But it's just, Anfernee Simons doesn't excite me. It doesn't do it for me, especially with the inefficiencies. He's always been an inefficient shooter. He's very much a chucker. And it depends. I guess it depends on what role you want to put him in. He's been a starter pretty much with the Trailblazers the entire time. You know what I mean? Coming to the Bulls, is he a bench piece for the Bulls? Is that's a role?
That's what the most recent rumors sound like. Is that this would be him coming here to be the scorer off the bench for the Bulls? Is what it sounds like.
Which I guess is fine, but again, right? Like, how many guards you gonna have in this rotation? You're gonna do a Trey Jones and
Donovan, bro. Anfernee Simons is,
you know what I mean?
No, starting power forward. Like, you just never know, bro. You never know.
That is true. That is true. You do always have to keep that in the back pocket. But to me, listen, if you're just trying to get off of Vooch's contract and make a deal there, I think sure it could make sense, and you bring him in off of the bench, that's fine. I don't see what is Anfernee Simons making this year? 1 year deal, $28 million player coming off your bench. Yeah, I mean, but that's what I said in the framework of this is insurance in case Coby White does leave. And it's like, okay, if we can't negotiate with Coby as unrestricted free agency, we got a guy, Anfernee, who we would have 1 year of being in our system at that point, who, whether he's the future of the shooting guard or not, at least we have something that can bring some shooting in case. Like, my mind changed on a little bit looking at it from the insurance. Before it was talked about like a Coby White replacement. I don't like that. I want to keep Coby. If it's insurance and it's like, all right, bet if we re-sign Coby White, then we can let him walk or maybe try to force a sign-in trade with whatever team wants him next offseason. Again, I still don't love the trade. I'm just saying that sounds a little bit more logical than what we were hearing before, I guess is where I'm at with it. I think that's the part about this for me. Like, I guess I can see it from that standpoint, but logical feels like a stretch. Like, it feels like this rumor could happen, and here's how maybe it kind of works.
It's forced logic. You're absolutely right. I mean? It's forced logic. It's forced logic. It's like, all right, are y'all about to do something stupid? Here's why it could be smart, though. Like, yeah, that's fact. It's PTSD, bro. I'm a Bulls fan for life. It's 39. I know. 39 years of being a fan of this.
We can force some logic here. I get it. But like, we there's a part in our brain where this may work. You know what I mean? Like that's always there. But no, the thing for me though with this move is it gets 1 year on the contract. Vooch, I believe, still has 2 years left on his deal.
This is Vooch last year.
This is Vooch's last year.
So it's 1 for 1.
It's a 1 for 1
contract
here.
stays the same. And it's getting some value back. Like, okay, let me paint it to you this way. If a team was offering 2 second-round picks and basically just salary cap filler, is this deal better than that? Because I don't think you're getting like, that's like, I think Anfernee Simons is the best, like, just talent, regardless of how you look at him as a player. That's the best talent we've heard in a Vooch deal. So, that is
the best talent we've heard in a Vooch deal. Here's what's tough for me to connect the dots on.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Coby wants to be here. Like, out of all of the players that there is, like, if you were going to work a deal out, it actually seems like Coby White wants to be here. I don't know if you saw when the trade rumors were the hottest around the Orlando thing, he had put the Instagram post up and was like, pray for me. And it was like him high-fiving people on the way out.
And why people made it seem like it was like, oh, that's Coby saying he's out of here. I took it the same way you took it, as like, hey, no, I don't want to be. I don't want to go nowhere.
Like, I think Coby White feels like this is a situation that could actually work. I think he got used to being next to Josh Giddy, and that's something he wants to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you would have that much of a difficulty moving on from Coby. And that's, to me, where the Anfernee Simons insurance, or holding on to Coby, I should say, that's for me where the Anfernee Simons insurance stretch is like, insurance for what? I actually think you could keep Coby here if you wanted to. This feels like where he's comfortable and where he wants to.
Yeah, but that's why it's insurance, because I say this all the time, and this is not just a Coby thing. This is unrestricted free agency. Everything sounds great until a team that's winning puts $40 million on the table, and you're like, I'm just saying anything's possible. And I think too, if you look at it, like, if we're talking about just getting the best talent back for Vooch, in that sense, I take this move and then figure it out later. Because what if a team comes calling, or what if a team needs a shooter at the deadline? Now you got Anfernee Simons there. You could be the pathway to them getting their shooter, and then you can. I look at it the same way as when the Warriors with Dennis Schroeder, right? Yeah. They knew he was going to be gone. Everybody knew he was going to be gone when they acquired him, but they acquired him anyway. So that's kind of in the vein of something that I'm looking at, like because you're right. Coby does seem like he wants to say, I want to see Coby stay here. I don't think Anfernee Simons is who I'd want to replace Coby White with, even if we did replace Coby. So regardless, if you're just looking at it from the sense of, let's get the best talent back for Vooch, it'll be hard to pass up this move, and then you figure it out later down the road.
Which is possible, right? I mean, asset allocation is truly a part of the game. The part that's also difficult for me is, how does he fit in a bench rotation on this team? Like, Trey Jones, Anfernee Simons, Ayo Dosunmu. Like,
I mean, listen, the rotation ain't gonna make no sense, bro. Like, there's no way that the rotation makes sense.
Here's what's weird. We're actually at a point where the Bulls rotation actually makes basketball sense,
bro. And that's the thing that's like, so many people are like, I seen people were like, we got too many forwards. Y'all were just complaining we had too many guards. We got 5 guards, five forwards, and three centers.
Yeah,
that's balanced to me.
It's actually a rotation that makes sense.
Yeah,
and that I think you could utilize in multiple ways. All of your bigs can play the 4 if need be. Jalen Smith probably is really the only one that needs to be playing the 4 there. But like, you have this positional flexibility. Again, I'm not saying it's a great lineup. I'm not saying that you got elite scores, but basketball teams usually work a little bit better when the rotations make a little bit more sense.
Turner to the Mavs. What Turner?
Davin slept through all of yesterday.
Turner to the Mavs? Miles Turner signed to the Bucks, my boy. I don't know where you've been, but
he slept through all of yesterday. He saw no news yesterday.
That boy woke up from a coma like, wait a second, what happened?
Bro, I did have a homie who was a Bucks fan, who was like notorious for a midday nap at a specific time, right when all that stuff went down.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
We was like,
to be sleeping at that moment is crazy.
He's gonna be shocked when he wakes up. That mug texts us 2 hours later, like, what the fuck?
By the way, Bucks, y'all need point guard depth. Javon Carter.
Javon Carter's there.
You need some. He's familiar with the system. He played really good with Giannis.
I don't know if he's familiar with their system. It's 2 different coaches now.
Oh yeah, I forgot they've now gone through several different coaches. the systems. This is Doc Rivers system. It's all the same.
Jamal said, "Why do y'all read the wildest comments?
Bro,
Because they wild. Because you had the audacity to throw it up."
Them. Like the man said, Turner to the Mavs. Like what alternate reality are you from in the multiverse? Anyway, we're gonna continue the conversation. This time, though, we're gonna be going to a trade rumor around Cam Whitmore and Ayo going to the Houston Rockets. But first, we got to get to a message from Monarch Money. Ever wish managing your money felt easier? With Monarch Money, it can be. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending all in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building worth. What was one surprising thing you noticed when you started? With that said, when I started using Monarch Money, I was surprised at how much I was spending on my merch purchases. And now I still get to get my merch, but I do it more intelligently and save more at the same time. Take control over your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNBA for half off your first year. More Locked On Bulls coming up next. It just changed the ad read on me. It was like I was used to going into autopilot on the ad read. I was like, wait a second, that's not what I'm supposed to be reading. With that said, yes, last night we also got kind of more details on a potential Ayo to the Rockets swap for Cam Whitmore. It'll be, I think, Nate Williams, Cam Whitmore, both for Ayo Dosunmu. So basically another guard, 6'5" guard, and Cam Whitmore, who's a wing, in exchange for Ayo Dosunmu. How you feeling about this one, Pat?
Cam Whitmore has been underutilized in Houston. There's no doubt about that. Like there is, I think, a ton of ability there. The athleticism is ridiculous. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he's a 40+ vertical guy. So he's got explosive leaping ability. I think his on-ball athleticism allows him to do so much, especially through contact, because coming in weight-wise at 235, he's probably maybe added a little more weight at the NBA level.
Almost a 41-inch vertical, Pat.
Oh, my God.
Ridiculous.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I remember that. I remember looking at Cam and being like, okay, this is a monster. Here's where my concerns come in, though. There's a lot of development that has to still be done with Cam Whitmore because he has been utilized a ton at the NBA level. The things that always pop up for me as issues for him is I feel like his IQ is not where it needs to be. And what I mean by that is it seems like he gets lost way too often, no matter the system he's been in. I mean, he's been there 2 years, or I believe both years with IMA. And there's always a time where he's been lost on the court defensively, lost on the court offensively. Like the moments are too much, and he's just not a consistent shooter right now. Doesn't mean that the gifts aren't there. You just got to develop them into them. Is that the thing we want to start doing while we also have Noah Esenge on the roster as well?
And that's the thing. Like it's like unless they feel like Cam can play shooting guard, I don't understand. With Noah and Modest already here, you still got Dalen, you still got Julian, you just traded for Isaac Okoro. That's a lot of people that are fluctuating between 3-4, 2-3, or whatever's there. Like, and not to say that, like, I get it. I get kind of the mindset behind it, right? Is that you have to extend Coby and Ayo at the end of the season. If you trade Ayo, you don't have to worry about that. You got 3 more years on Cam Whitmore's rookie scale deal, so you're not put in a Josh Giddy situation to where you have to make a decision on extending him 1 year after getting him. You'll get 3 years to try to develop him and to see what you're going to do before you got to pay him serious money. So you're kicking that can down the road. I would say that would make me feel like re-signing Coby is they're more willing to pay more for him at that point because they don't also have to extend Ayo. So you can talk me into this trade. The question that I have here, though, is defensively. Me and you talked a lot about the importance of having defenders on the roster with Josh Giddy and Coby White as your backcourt. Ayo's one of those guys. Now, I know you got Isaac Okoro, but that's 2. Now, Noah Esenge as well, unless you feel confident that what he's going to be able to bring for you defensively right away. Modest taking a step. Then we're starting maybe cooking a little bit there where I could see it. But this is a trade.
You also got Trey back in the building.
You do have Trey back, who's solid positional defender.
He's a point guard defender. That's it.
Yeah, that's positional. Yeah, he only has one position. So you can talk like this is a move, whereas the Vooch move, I'm just like, I'd have to try to make sense of that one. This is a move where I can actually see where this makes sense for you now, makes sense for you in the future. But at that point now, you are developing Modest, Noah, and Cam Whitmore and trying to do that all at the same time, which you got Dan Craig, you got Wes Unseld, you have a development department. So there you go on that one. But yeah, I mean, you could talk me into this one and me saying that this kind of makes sense for the Bulls.
Listen, I wouldn't be against it. The one thing for me would be who's odd man out on the bottom of the roster guys, right? Is it Julian Phillips? Is it Dalen Terry? Like, I don't think you can have this. He is the Michael Jordan of Dalen Terry's, if you will. Like, he is a top level piece that actually has. You got to stop clicking on his comments, bro.
I'm just like
you got to stop clicking on his comments.
I'm about to start putting people in timeout, bro. Like,
he's a top level development piece, and I don't think you have somebody like him on the roster already. I don't think that you have a player who's probably as far along as him on the roster already, but there's still a ton of development that needs to be done, and that for me is where I really look at this trade, and I'm like, well, you're kind of trading a piece that you've developed for a piece that you have to try and get the most out of. Now, do I think his ceiling could be higher than Ayo's? Yeah. He's not. I don't think he's ever going to bring you the defensive ability that Ayo brings. I think offensively, maybe he can have a higher ceiling. And if you feel comfortable with your defense off of the bench, with Okoro, with Trey Jones, if Modest takes a step, like you said, like, I could see it happening. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Ayo's the one piece for me, though, where it's kind of like, try and hold on to him at all costs, because if you get to that point, and the hope is that AK does eventually try and win a championship here, or at least go for it. Players like Ayo are exactly what you're going to need. If we trade Ayo Dosunmu away, we are going to have a moment where, if the Bulls are ever competitive in this AK regime, where we go, man, what we could really use? A guy who can defend everybody, who's willing to throw his body around, who's willing to do all the dirty work, who can still go out there and get you 13 to 18 points in a game, depending on how well the shots fall in that day, who can knock down the three ball. It'd be great to have the everyman guy. What's he doing? He's probably winning a lot now.
I'm not even putting this up because it's stupid. I didn't even realize he left it. No, there's a team option for next season. So he doesn't become a restricted free agent until the summer of 28. So there you go on that one. Like, people just be wrong. But no, I agree with you. Like, I was one of those players that, to me, it's, if you don't, like, people can easily take Ayo for granted, but then the moment you become a competitive team, you're looking for a player like Ayo. You're looking for a player like Ayo that can defend multiple positions, that can come in, can start for you, can come off the bench. He finds a way to be productive in both. And so that is a risk that the Bulls would have to wonder if they have in what they're doing there. But, like we say with a lot, Pat, you got to get to winning first.
Yeah, you do got to get to winning first. And that's why it's not like you can sit there and just say, hold on to Ayo Dosunmu at all costs. I do think that there is going to have to be, you're at a crossroads with this team where you're going to have to kind of figure out, okay, who's really a part of the future and who isn't. And that means some of your favorite Chicago Bulls are going to be gone. I mean, we see people every day. And the thing, don't trade Coby, don't trade P. Will, don't trade Ayo.
And the thing is that people can't keep saying we don't ever get assets back for trades, and then keep saying, why are we trading P. Will? No, guess what? If you want a good asset back in the trade, you're gonna have to trade good players. Yeah, and that's just is what it is. Even people are like, we can't trade Coby. He's our best player. Well, I'll tell you right now. If Coby continues to be your best player, shout out for 8 years of the playing.
Isn't he coming in off a step? Isn't Cam coming in off of 2 years of MCL injuries too, though?
I don't know. I didn't even look
torn, but injuries that have kept him out for a considerable amount of time.
Injury history. So yeah, you may be correct on that one. I have to look that up.
I think there's an injury history a little bit there with Cam as well, which you got to kind of take into account. But listen, as far as the talent, he's a heck of a talent. You can do a lot worse. Ayo feels like one of those guys you hold on to at least until you try to get, competitive quickly, which it sounds like the summer of 2026, Haize, we're going to be competing all the way around.
Competition.
Dominating competition. Before we get to this next topic, man, about day 3, no Giddy deal and some of Brian Windhorst's comments. Let's talk about the fact that Mo Wagner looks like a villain.
The fact that I saw that was in there, it's like the fact that that was premeditated. Mo Wagner saga is crazy.
This is from a conversation 2 days ago that we did not have, and bro, listen, like he looks like he will pet a dog on his lap as he turns around in an office chair.
He definitely looks like an Austin Powers villain. That's 100% fact.
We're Locked On Bulls coming up next. You give him a curly mustache, bro. You give him a curly mustache.
This segment is brought to you by Mo Wagner's mustache. With that said, Pat,
what's the fade on that mustache? Can he not grow one, or what's going on? Listen, I can't talk about a lot of beards, but I got a good mustache game. What's going on with the fade on this?
You know what though? You just don't be committed to growing the beard. That's your problem.
I don't.
You
got to do all the steam and all that.
You get 3 weeks into an 8-week process to be like, you know what? I'm done. You got to see it through, bro. You got to see it through.
Got to see it through, my boy.
But day 3, no Josh Giddy deal as of yet. I just checked to make sure that while we're talking, something crazy doesn't happen, because that is what would happen to Locked On Bulls, is that as we're talking about no Giddy deal would be announced. So no Josh Giddy deal as it stands right now. Windhorst came out yesterday and said that this could take a while. What he's hearing, there's no real traction yet. How do you feel about it, Pat?
I just want to calm people down. I saw this taking over social media the other day because he was in Miami. Miami can offer that man $2 million.
Exactly. Oh, listen. As much as people want to talk about, Miami has done nothing this offseason.
They can't do nothing.
Nothing.
They got no cap space.
They have their full mid-level exception. They can at least do that. They've done nothing.
Yeah, I mean, but like, who you getting? I guess you do got it, but
I guess they did re-sign Davion Mitchell, right?
Yeah. So like, I don't know, man. Like, Miami can't do much. No, here's the thing. As weird as this is, and I think as resigned if we've become to AK basically just, shouting at himself in a mirror to make some of these deals here. This is good GMing. Go out, find your deals, see what it is. I'm not just coming to you with a price. That's what it feels like if we're in day 3 of this. This is where we stand right now. And clearly you want more than where we stand. Go see what you can find. That's good GMing for restricted free agency. And to me, I almost got to give AK props on it, not rushing into this deal, because if you're telling me that going into next season, instead of having Giddy at 30, maybe we've got him at 26, 25. That's how you want to see your GM get the job done. You don't want to disrespect the player, but also you're kind of in a tough situation here where Josh, ain't nobody in the league got money, and nobody wants to go into this apron. This second apron, or even the first apron for some teams, I mean, it's standing at the end of the block like Debo.
Bro,
teams are running the other way.
You know what it is? And the Bulls have been prepared for this, because this is always how we've operated. I mean, listen, I'm not here to
AK may be a second apron.
Jerry being cheap, but like you see, so in 2024-25, there were 13 teams that did not pay the luxury tax. This season, I believe that's gone up to half the teams in the league now are not paying the luxury tax. Whereas there's like the top 6 teams are paying 90% of the luxury tax payments. Like more and more, the league is starting to start getting to where the Bulls have always been. And I wonder if that's going to ever be the advantage that the Bulls have finally needed.
Well, I think here's the thing, right? It's how we build our teams anyway. It's how we know AK is going to build his team. What it does, essentially, it's becoming hockey. And in hockey, I mean, you remember when the Blackhawks were winning, right? We had this dominant team. We had Dustin Bufflin. We had to get rid of a bunch of them guys because I led with Dustin Bufflin because he got rid of, not because he was dominant. He was really good, though. But we had to get rid of a bunch of those guys on the team because you have a hard cap. You can't be over that cap. That's kind of how teams are treating the second apron and how some teams are treating the first apron. And what happens there is you get a lot of players on the market that you didn't expect to be on the market, and you've effectively killed the super teams. You've got the parity that you're looking for in the NBA right now, and the last few years has really shown you that this could be a situation where AK actually does have an advantage, where players could become available that AK could go after. And especially with Josh Giddey right now, I don't think it's disrespectful to say, go see how much you can get and we'll give you this. This is where we're at. I think that you have to toe that line really well. And that is the one part that does concern me with AK.
I don't even think it has to be go out and get a deal somewhere else. I think it's just simply put, at this point, you don't even need it. You see there's nobody that can offer him nearly what he wants. So I don't even think it has to be that. It just has to be, hey, Josh, listen, we know that you want 30, that's what you wanted, but this is the number that we're comfortable at. We can get you to 27 and a half, 26, whatever it is, and we can get you there. Let's do 3+1. That way, over the next 3 years, you can opt out. We can re-up you for even more money. But where it stands right now, we're in a place of a roster where this is the value, this is what we see, and we still got to add around you guys and Coby, and we're hoping to do that in 2026. Like, just have a real conversation. The problem is it doesn't have to be go tell that other team and then they'll tell us what your value is. It just has to be, hey, this is our vision. This is what we're trying to do. This is where things are at. This is what the market is telling us. We've now gone through the majority of free agents assigned. This is what the market is telling us the value is right now. We are willing to pay you that value that is out there that the market is telling us. It's not going to quite be the number that you want, but this is a business. And I think if you go there, and like I've always thought that players take it as a disrespect when you're just like, no, you're not worth that. And you have it of hey, this is what we can pay you because we have to do these other things so that we can win. You want to win. You just saw your former team win a championship. Don't you want to win?
Yeah.
But that takes a smart GM to do that, and AK hasn't always shown that ability.
Yeah, listen, like I said, you got to toe the line carefully, I think, and you got to make sure that you're keeping, the relationship good between you and the player, and just listen. We did this with Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine was the ultimate professional here. He was fine in his time here, and when he left, I think there's a part of Zach that's like, man, Chicago wasn't all that bad right now. You seen that hairline lately, brother? It's going back, bro.
He was already old though, bro.
At a minimum, he missed in Chicago barbers.
That's
he got braids now. Yeah, that's the sign of like what did I do?
Zach is going through a midlife crisis.
Hey, didn't DeMar get the braids when he went down to San Antonio?
DeMar's always had braids.
No, DeMar had a fade in Toronto.
Oh, when San Antonio. No, I think towards the end of Toronto, he was growing his hair out.
Braids in Toronto?
I think towards the end of Toronto is when he started growing the hair out.
It was depressing there too, because he always had the little Kobe brushed the wrong way fro. He did.
That's hilarious.
No, but I think in the long run, the thing for me is with getting a Giddy deal done is find a way to make it work where you're not disrespecting the player. Everything is when the deal gets done, everybody's on the up and up. But if you could find some more cap flexibility, especially with how the cap is set up now, get as much as you can. And I don't mean, go down to 22 million. I'm saying you can come in 27, 28 million, and by the end of it, Josh, you'll be making 10 million more, 37. Yeah, like, find a way to get that deal done. I'm not mad at that. And also, Josh Giddey's not a big enough player for me to be like, yeah, I'm bending over doing whatever he says.
I'm clipping that. I'm clipping it. You just deal with that. I'm just letting you know I am clipping that.
Make sure you add in Josh Giddey's not a good enough player.
Nope, I'm not. No, what are you doing? What's context?
We gonna get down. We not gonna do the full thing.
I'm, bending over doing that's crazy, bro. Anyway. All right, Pat, let's get up out of here, bro. That's
hey, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate your opportunity to show up as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Follow us both on everything at Locked On Bulls.
That is hilarious. You guys can follow me at CEO Haize. Locked On Bulls is free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube, the Odyssey app, Amazon Fire TV, Roku TV, Fubo TV, basically anywhere you want us, you can get us. Love you guys. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Oh, God. Jerry said, baby girl.